Good evening. I am Sam Fishman, Managing Director of SINAI Schools. Thank you. And I am delighted to speak to you about my dear friend and former creative partner, Abigail Hepner Gross, whom we honor tonight. I first met Abigail about 14 years ago, shortly after she had enrolled her son Judah in SINAI. At the time, Abigail was managing PR and marketing for a law firm. As it happened, SINAI was looking for the first time to hire a professional to manage our communications. We hoped, and we turned out to be correct, that sharing our work and our stories with the world would lead to more families who need SINAI becoming aware of what SINAI can offer their child, and would also expand financial support, allowing us to help more students. Abigail impressed us as being very articulate and organized and extremely bright. We had a hunch that Abigail was exactly the person SINAI was looking for. The fact that she was a SINAI parent was a big plus, because we were looking for someone who could communicate what exists in the hearts of SINAI parents, the challenges our students and families face, what SINAI does for our students and families, and what SINAI means to our students and families. So we convinced Abigail to leave her job and join SINAI as our first director of communications. Now, 12 and a half years later, it is hard to adequately describe the power and impact of Abigail's groundbreaking work at SINAI. For those of you who have experienced our dinners over the last dozen years, who have seen our award-winning short documentaries, watched our music videos, read the many cover stories she facilitated, that and so much more is Abigail's work. SINAI's reputation and image have been tremendously enhanced because of Abigail. Her films, in many ways, are SINAI's calling card. They are how much of the world knows who we are. It was terribly hard for us when Abigail told us it was time for her to move on, but we are happy for her that she is pursuing her passion as a filmmaker and storyteller through Impact Video Creative, the new company she has founded. Abigail's films are a window into her heart, and Abigail has a huge, compassionate heart. In an incredibly beautiful gesture to help ensure that children have access to a Jewish education, regardless of their abilities, Abigail, together with her husband Robbie and her mother-in-law, Mrs. Pearl Gross, established the Jack Gross Zichrona Livracha Memorial Scholarship Fund at SINAI. Thank you so much. The rocket fuel that powered all that Abigail has done for SINAI is her experience as a SINAI parent. And Abigail will speak in a moment about what SINAI has meant to Judah and her family. I just want to say how proud all of us at SINAI are of Judah, for how hard he has worked and for all that he has accomplished. On a personal note, I want to express what a joy it was to collaborate with you, Abigail, for over a decade on so many things, but especially the countless hours we worked together creating so many films. Our body of work will last forever, and I hope our friendship will too. Abigail, please join me on stage so I can present you with our gift, a beautiful piece of artwork created by one of our students, especially for you.
In the time before you were born, I longed for you, I prayed for you. When I first held you in my arms, I was sure my heart would burst with love for you. Hush, little baby, what a journey lies ahead. The future shines through in your eyes. And whatever comes, you will never be alone. I will always be there.
Thank you, Sam. I have to say, it feels really strange to be standing up here tonight. I spent so many years carefully crafting the dinner program you're experiencing tonight, and yet now that it's me up here, I find myself struggling to put into words what SINAI has meant to me and to my family over the years. So let me start by telling you why Robbie and I established the Jack Gross Memorial Scholarship Fund last fall. My father-in-law, Jack Gross, Zichrono Livracha, lost his entire family in the Shoah. He himself survived through grit, courage, and determination. Jack, together with my mother-in-law, Pearl, was a very big Baal Tzedakah who supported many causes, but he was extremely modest, and he never wanted people to know the extent of his generosity. Many institutions over the years wanted to honor him, but he always refused. His own formal education ended when he was 14 years old. So education, and Jewish education especially, was of primary importance to him. Jack was a big supporter of Sinai in his lifetime, grateful for what Sinai did to help our son, his grandson, and that is why, together with Pearl, Robbie and I decided to establish a scholarship fund in his memory so that his name will be linked forever with a cause that was personally meaningful to him and to us, so that other children can benefit from Sinai's unique special education as our own son did years ago. Thank you to all of you, my dear friends and family, who have chosen to honor his memory by contributing to the Jack Gross Memorial Scholarship Fund. As you've already heard, my Sinai journey started as a parent. From a young age, it was obvious to Robbie and to me that our son Judah was extremely bright, but at the same time, he struggled in so many ways. He had a sophisticated vocabulary and an extraordinary memory, but he was easily overwhelmed by noise and external stimuli. In stressful situations, he simply shut down, and he knew he was different from his brothers and his friends. I think he was about 8 or 9 when one night he sat on his bed crying in frustration and pain. He told us that he felt like a sea lion stranded on a rock in the middle of the ocean with nobody who could understand him or rescue him. It broke our hearts. I remember sitting on the floor of my living room with pages and pages of psychoeducational reports and test results, completely overwhelmed. Everyone was telling us, Sinai, check out Sinai. And I just thought, no, not Sinai. Sinai is not for my kid. Getting over the stigma was so difficult. And yet, when we did our research, it seemed that Sinai really was a great fit. In fact, of an even higher quality than the secular special education schools we looked at. And we wouldn't be sacrificing his Jewish education. It seemed too good to be true. We knew we had made the right decision when, within his first couple of weeks at Sinai, Judah came home one day and said, "You know, Mom, I never believed you before, but you were right. I'm not stupid, and there are other kids like me." He was in 5th grade. And so, when given the opportunity to come and work for Sinai, I jumped at the chance. I knew there were so many other parents out there like us, struggling to find a place for their children. How many other children, like my son, could be helped? My perspective as a parent made my work feel like a personal mission. Lorette, Sam, Rabbi Rothwax, thank you for taking that leap all those years ago and trusting me with Sinai's message. And to all of my former colleagues at the Sinai Business Office, thank you for your passion and commitment and all of your tireless work behind the scenes over the years. So, coming back to the personal story that brought me to Sinai, I am unbelievably proud of all 3 of our terrific boys, but especially of our son Judah, our former Sinai student. His struggles didn't just magically disappear when he got to Sinai, but he was surrounded every day with the most supportive, skilled, passionate group of educators and therapists who taught him in a way that he could understand, who gave him the tools he needed to become a confident student. Just as important, they taught him how to be comfortable in his own skin, how to ask for help, and how to advocate for himself. Every Sinai student has a different path. Judah worked really hard for everything he has attained, and Robbie and I were proud beyond words when he graduated last spring with honors from Rutgers University with a degree in evolutionary anthropology. To every single one of you at Sinai who helped Judah on his journey, we are eternally grateful. Thank you. Okay, and now it is my incredible pleasure to bring you the next part of our program tonight, the film. While I was at Sinai, the part of the job that I came to love best was telling Sinai's story through film. Sam, I am so grateful to you for encouraging me to grow in this arena. Over the years, our collaboration and creative partnership in creating Sinai's films has meant so much to me, and I am so proud of the body of work that we have been able to create for Sinai together, including tonight's film. So, before the film begins, I'll ask you once again to please refrain from checking your phones during the film so that you don't disturb your neighbor's experience. And if you have not yet done so, please silence your phone now. Avital, Charlie, Benjamin, Ari, thank you for allowing us to share your story.